Good day everyone, my name is Dennis, you are on my YouTube channel and today we have this amazing, excellent car. Why I decided to shoot it? Because about 1 week ago I made a short video on a TikTok platform about this car. The views of this video were about 300,000 in just about 2 days. So I realized this car is probably interesting to someone and it is also interesting for me. And by the way, there is no any review in English YouTube about this car, at least a good review with test drive and so on. So today we will make detailed review of each version. We will talk a little bit about history of this car, about pricing in China, and of course we will make a test drive. I hope you will enjoy this video. Please push the like button if you like it, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell. Let's start. This car entered the market in 2022. Before they showed the concept car, which was called the Ora Ballet Cat, but that car was a truly luxurious car, very expensive inside, bigger than this outside, and it never went into mass production, but this car actually went. The name of this car is the Ora Ballet Cat, in case someone doesn't know. And of course this car is inspired by the pre-war cars from 1930s, and probably it's inspired by the VW Beetle. Some details really are taken from VW, and there are some rumors that actually VW suited the Great Wall Motors Corporation, who is the actually owner of the Ora sub-brand, but in fact it's not true. There was no any legal process about that, just some rumors and articles in automobile press about that VW may concern suiting or something like that. If we go to the car directly, this is basically not a small car. The length of the car is 4.5 meters, almost 4.5. The height of the car is almost 1.8 meters, and the wheelbase is 2,750 millimeters. It's same as Volkswagen ID.4, so technically we can basically call this car an SUV. Let's talk about technical specifications of this car, and we have only one motor. It's a front layout motor with the front wheel drive. Actually, there's supposed to be a four-wheel drive car because the Ora Lightning Cat, they have a very powerful four-wheel drive version, but this model doesn't have. The only motor here is the 125 kilowatts, it means 171 horsepower motor with 250 newton meters of torque. Under the bonnet we have big 20-volt battery, which is very good. Many EV cars have very small and not reliable 20 volts battery. We have these tanks for liquid cooling and liquid heating of the battery, and we have two batteries here, the 50 kilowatt hours and 60 kilowatt hour, and the range by CLTC respectively 400 and 500 kilometers. Here we have the heat pump, which is presented in the middle and top version of this car. Today we have the top version of the Ora Ballet Cat. In the basic version we do not have the heat pump in the system of air conditioning. And by the way, I want to show you how the body of this car is made, because it's very remarkable, and this whole fender is made completely of plastic, of thick plastic, so probably it will be a little bit more easier to repair, to exchange when you have some accident or something. Basically the price of plastic fender will be probably the same price as a metal, or maybe more expensive. Anyways, here we have the front bumpers, which look like a truly chrome bumpers from 50s or 60s car with 2 millimeters thickness of metal, but of course in fact it's just plastic with chrome trim, but it probably works fine with all its function, because it really could be scratched, and the scratch on the chrome will look probably much better than on any painted part, and also exchanging of this bumper probably will be easier. By the way, this car is positioned not as a cheap car, a budget car. It's something like a medium price range starting from about 20,000 USD in China. Of course it's aimed at women, and of course it has many features for women in not only design, and also it has some technological features which puts this car on a little bit higher level than many of its competitors. For example, here we have the active closed intake grill right here inside. It can be closed automatically by the servo motor, and many cars in this price range actually doesn't have it at all. In terms of equipment, we have 3 versions, and all of them are exactly the same from appearance. All of them have these 18-inch wheels, light alloy wheels, which I personally adore in terms of this design, looking like a steel rims. In terms of this cover, I think it's amazingly beautiful. We have this electric drive of the charging door. We have this, you see this piece which will not let to lose this cap, and everywhere we have the motif of a cat. This is the cat paw, and here the same. So this is quite funny. We can also meet it somewhere in the interior, and the servo drive of this door, of this charging door, is not typical in this budget, so that's what I was saying about. Somewhere this car has features which are really nice. These door handles are actually very nice, but these buttons are totally fake. You just have the normal opening of the door handles, and here we have the key mechanism, which is very, very atypical. I haven't seen it for ages. And by the way, all versions have the keyless entry system, so I don't know even for what. This is just an emergency actually key. Correct. Here we have the sunroof, which is openable, which is small, and which is in all versions without any extra fee. Basically, there is no any difference from appearance. We can find more, and I want just to tell you about the autopilot system, because all the cars in 2023 model year, it's the newest model year of this car, have the autopilot system level 2 with the adaptive cruise control, full speed of course, and the blind spot monitoring and the line changing assistance and so on, as you see here in the mirrors. And also the camera is 360 we have in all the versions without any extra fee. I sometimes see these cars on the streets. They are sold in not too big quantities, currently only about 200 units per month, maybe, unfortunately. But anyway, when you see it on the street, it takes your attention. But in fact, my opinion, that the true magic of this car is inside, is in the interior. Let's check it better. Of course, the interior is in retro style. Here are so many features and so no typical design that I really want you to get acquainted with that. In terms of specification, let's go step by step. In all the versions, we have the natural leather trim of the steering wheel, but in the basic version, there is no steering wheel heating. In two top versions, we have steering wheel heating, which is really, really good for this price and in this market segment. Approximately same situation with the seats, but in the basic version, we already have the seat heating and seat ventilation of the driver's place, but in other versions we have heat seating, ventilation and massage of the both front seats, and in all the versions we have electric seats. Massage is quite good. There are a lot of regimes of working of massage, and in my opinion for this price it's quite amazing, and for the for the women buyers it's also very nice feature. In terms of design, as you see here, everything is very girlish. We have this crystal, or how to call it, or diamond style. Of course, this is just plastic. Here we have the wireless charger. It imitates the ventilation and cooling system, but I'm pretty sure there is no cooling system here, and probably it's very low powerful charger. And here we have the box. Here we have the flag trimmed small box which we can take out, and there is a bigger box. And here I want to tell you about the quality of all these. The quality of this looks like quality of the modern Chinese home appliances, where it's important they put something beautiful. They even can put something expensive, but where it's possible they make it really cheap. Here is as well. The plastic inside is very basic, very cheap, but on the doors everywhere, here maybe better show there, everything is soft. Like here it's soft, it's covered with some false leather. Here actually it's plastic. Here everything is also covered with the fake leather here as well. So this is almost like in a much more expensive car, but everything like this is made of very cheap plastic. When you push it, it just deformates, not deformates, but it just like moves a little bit. But my favorite detail here is this block of the buttons, physical buttons, which are amazingly pleasant to use. They're used exactly like this. They have the light indication, they have the emergency lights right here, and some sufficient functions are exactly right here, like AC turning on and off. Also, I like these screens, which are 12.3 inches, two screens. They are combined together and they don't ruin the interior style of the car. And also the very beautiful steering wheel with this fake chrome semi-circle, which is supposed to be used as a horn, but actually horn is in a traditional place for modern cars. Basically here is enough space. I like to sit here, and it really gives you the vibes of 1960s cars, because I used to drive in a 1960 cars, and at the same time it's very convenient, it's quite modern, and it's pleasant to be here because everything is so light. Also you have this multicolored ambient lighting. So in the front part we have the super retro nice design with many features, but at the same time it's very convenient and just normal modern car. The second drawer is a little bit worse. First of all, this part of the body is made a little bit narrow here. That's why this seat, technically it's for 5-seaters. We have here the 3 seat belts, but in fact you can sit here only in 2, because this is quite narrow second seat, something like in a VW Golf of the 3rd generation or 4th generation, something like that. But the biggest problem is not this. The biggest problem that the floor is relatively high, probably because the battery here is used lithium iron phosphate battery. These batteries are bigger and more heavier, and probably because of that they had to use more space under the floor. They also, I don't know why, have the central channel, but taking into account the design of this car, this is not so bad and we could forgive it. Also the roof is quite low, again because of the design. For the children, like aged until 12 years old, it will be very nice. For me, it's also not so bad. I have plenty space in front of my knees, but my knees are quite high, as you see. Riding here for me for about 1 or 2 hours will be no any problem. And we don't have the central armrest. I don't know why, despite its top version, but probably they had to save on something. Now let's go to the weakest point of this car body, but in fact I would not blame this car for it, because it's just the reverse side of its design. The trunk here, we have the electric tailgate in all the versions without any extra fee, and it's already very nice. But the trunk itself, you see, it's only about 100 liters from my opinion. Of course, we will show you the infography of the size a little bit later. Under the floor we have the subwoofer, because this is the top version. In top version we have 10 audio speakers, and in other versions we have only 8 of them. So here is the organizer, which basically uses all space, and I would not say it's made very wisely. Nevertheless, we have the tire repair kit, we have the V2L adapter, because all the versions have the V2L, but I don't know of which power, because I didn't find it in the specification. Actually, here we have, even here we do not have the power of this adapter, which is very weird. We don't know what is the maximum power of this device. So not typical. Maybe somewhere we could find it, but I don't see it at all. Okay, never mind. But the good thing, you can fold the seats, and we have the completely flat floor like that. We push, and here we have, this is detachable shelf, and we have the quite nice capacity, more than 1 cubic meter. The infography, of course, I will show you right away. So generally speaking, with this design, this is not so bad option. For those who cares, the part which I made of metal, they have zinc coating. You see, it's zinc galvanized coating inside as well. This means the car will be probably well rust protected, as well as here we have the zinc galvanized coating, and here all the doors, the rear fenders, and here everything we have plastic. Even this is plastic, which surprises me so much. Now let me show you the ground clearance and front suspension. This is the maximum turning angle, and it's very good angle. I see it just from appearance. For the front wheel drive car, it's extremely nice. Under the front subframe and its plastic cover, we have the 168 millimeters, which is not so bad. Here we have the normal McPherson suspension, the steel subframe, the steel arms. The arm is very simple. Unfortunately, we have the ball joint, the ball bearing, we have pressed inserted in the arm. That means you probably have to change it together, but everything looks quite rigid, quite solid, and probably you will not have to do it soon. Under the battery, the ground clearance is a little bit better. It's about 186 milliliters, and the battery is in aluminum body. The battery is huge, it takes a lot of space, but here everything is made quite nice in my opinion, after just a quick glance on this car. In the back we have the multi-link suspension. All arms look quite massive, quite nice. The ground clearance here under this totally rubbish plastic screen, which is made of just of rubbish, is 200 millimeters, but this you will just lose one day. Now it's time to perform a test drive of this car. I'm really interested how this 170 horsepower motor will drive it. It's not a small SUV. Inside it's very warm already, because we are now at the seats, very cold, and we put the AC to maximum. So let's start. So now we are driving the Ora Ballet Cat, and the first impressions are extremely nice from this car. First of all, there are some features. For example, we have the different drive modes, and one of the drive modes, it's called like something new she or something. It's called like godness. It's for women. In this case, we have the very light steering wheel, probably some more assistance maybe when parking or something else, and it's a nice feature actually. We also have the sport mode, and we also can change the sensitivity of the steering wheel, so we can make it really sportive or really light right here. It's also a nice feature and not typical for many cars in this price budget. Now, generally we have very nice view in the mirrors, very nice view in the rear tailgate glass. The view everywhere is good. The seats are very comfortable as for me. The seats, by the way, are not typically for Chinese cars in this price budget. They are quite tough. It's really not typical. It's quite German seats. The seat massage, heating, ventilation works perfectly. I also like the steering wheel, despite it's not typical at all. This very thin steering wheel, of course the retro wave one, but anyway I like it, and I like how this car how the car steers at any speed, and I like the car turning radius, which is extremely small. Just look here, we're doing it on a, I don't know, 10 meter or 7 meter part of this port warehouse. By the way, we are not allowed to drive out of the port warehouse because this car doesn't have the license plate, but we can drive right here because this is not the commonly used road at all. So the acceleration is quite nice, and in the sport mode this car has more than enough of power. Of course, it's just 170 kilowatt-hour single motor EV, but anyway, in my opinion, this is very sufficient and the car doesn't feel slow at all. The car is also quite quiet. The sound insulation is good in my opinion, and even the wipers, they clean this old-fashioned glass in a very nice manner. Now we try to steer a little bit faster. This car is very nicely controlled. Of course, it was just about 40 kilometers per hour, but now maybe I will try to do a little bit faster. Anyway, for me it's a pleasure to drive, especially when I know the car is not so expensive and the car has many nice features. It's nice, it's very nice, it's easy to drive, it's easy to control, it's no any surprise. In my opinion, they did something really good. By the way, about the usage of the energy, here we have about 21 to 22 kilowatt hours, but this is a new car. I've just been driving it for like 2-3 kilometers and we cannot judge from that. But even if you have this amount of using of energy, you can drive about 300 kilometers in normal driving in the city. And now let's try to accelerate. 3, 2, 1. From the beginning a little bit soft, but now you feel power. This feels like, I don't know, like ID4 with 204 horsepower with a single motor. It's not worse. It's good car. It's good dynamic. Everything here for now I really like. So this car is nice steering for sure. This car is good sound insulation. This car is very good turning radius. Has very good turning radius. This car is well done in terms of ergonomy and so on. But the most important, that we now like to be in this car. We now feel pleasure from being inside and we don't want to go outside. We think this car is nice. Doesn't matter the price, is it cheap or expensive, but actually it's not expensive. Doesn't matter how many horsepower or how big is the battery. We really have pleasure from being inside, and I have pleasure from driving this car as well. So it's an amazing result for such car in my opinion. Today I thought from the beginning we do this review just for fun. I didn't expect anything serious from this car and I didn't expect too much good things from this car. But finally, I am amused, I am impressed. This car is brilliant. I'm thinking that Great Wall Motors, they achieved all the goals when designing this car, and you could not do it better actually in this form factor. In this design, you could not do this car better. Yes, it has the small trunk, it has a little bit high floor, but it's not so big problem concerning the overall design. The only reason you will buy this car for is the design. And if you like it, or maybe your spouse like it, just buy it, because the car is generally fantastic, and especially for that price. The car in China starts from lower than 20,000 United States dollars, new car in the showroom, and the used car now can be bought much cheaper for about $16,000 or less. So I could only recommend the Ora Ballet Cat. Please hit the bell, subscribe to my channel, and you can leave a comment what do you think about this car, and you can leave a comment which car you would like me to review in my next video. My name is Dennis and I really love cars.